So we're still in chapter 1, section 4 on partial payments, and now we're going to look at a little bit different of a scenario. So this time we're looking at a home loan and then monthly payments, just to kind of give you a taste of what we're going to be doing in chapter 4 and chapter 5. So the idea here is that when we have a home loan, that when we make our timeline, the beginning of the loan, which would be our $90,000, would go at the now piece. We're going to make monthly payments. So in 1 month in, we're going to pay the monthly payment of $614. And then 2 months in, we're going to pay the same payment of $614, and we're going to do that for however long the loan is. So in this case, we're not told what that term is, but we're still going to assume that the last payment would be $614 because it's going to continue on whatever the term of the loan is. But we're not worried about that. We're worried about how much of the second monthly payment is applied to the principal. Okay, so that means we have to figure out how much of the first monthly payment goes toward the principal and goes toward the interest, and then we have to do the same thing again. So it's a little bit different, but it's still U.S. rule, which is why it's in this section. But again, it is going to work just a little bit differently. So the first thing we have to find is our interest. So first thing we're going to do is interest on the first payment. So remember, for interest we used I equals PRT. Okay, so here our R is 0.054 because our interest rate is 5.4%. And then here our T is just going to be going forward 1 month, so T would be 1/12 of a year. So we have I equals, here our P is 90,000, and T is, again, 1/12 of a year. So times our interest rate, times 1/12. Go ahead and take a minute, calculate that. I'm going to do it here on the side. So that means on that first payment we get $405 as interest. So now we're going to figure out, based off of that, so we're just going to do a slight color change here, is principal paid on first payment. Okay. So your payment that you make toward a mortgage or toward a loan always has two pieces. Some goes toward the interest and some goes toward the principal. So if our payment is $614 and we're going to subtract the interest, so we get $614 minus $405. So we get $209. That goes toward the principal. So then from here, now we have to figure out what's the new balance of the principal. After that first payment. Okay, so we do that by taking our old balance, which is the 90,000, and we subtract off this principal amount, this piece right here, to get our new principal. So we take 90,000 minus 209. So that means our new principal is 89,791. That is still owed after that first payment. Okay, so now from here we're trying to figure out how much of the second monthly payment is applied to the principal. So we're doing the same monthly payment, so we're going to do that again in blue. So now we have to figure out the interest on the second payment. So we use the same formula, I equals PRT. Here we take I equals P, but this time our principal is this value, 89,791, times our rate, which is the same, 0.054, times our T, which is the same, 0.12, so it's the same as up here. This is the only piece that's changed. So when we do that, This time our interest is 404.06 cents because we have to round that to the nearest penny. So again, I could only multiply directly by this because it was already rounded to the nearest penny. So now we'll take that and do our last step. So we take principal paid on second payment is going to be $614 minus the interest that we just calculated. So $614 minus 404.06. So $209.94. This would be the answer we're looking for. But we have to do a lot of calculations to get there. And I know this is cumbersome now, but later when we do this in chapter 5, we're going to do something really, really similar, but we'll do it in a table so it'll be much cleaner. So don't worry. I know you're excited to try it.